who is Armեն Գրիգորյան, the Secretary of the Armenian National Security Council. You can read his bio in the booklet. I want to tell you some things you may not find in the booklet. In 2015, during the referendum on the constitutional amendments, Mr. Grigoryan coordinated the observation initiative called Citizen Observer, involving more than 1,000 observers. In April 2017, during the National Assembly elections, he coordinated the observation initiative called Citizen Observer, involving more than 3,000 observers. From September to December 2017, he conducted expert works on transparency and civic participation in the Council of Europe. From April to May 2018, last year this time, he participated in the Velvet Revolution, which took place in Armenia, which we all here followed so attentively. He was a member of the Reject Serge initiative and held and organized numerous rallies. During that period, he was kidnapped and detained with other leaders of the movement after Serge Sargsyan's resignation, and then he was released. He was a member of the political party, is a member of the political party Civil Contract. Yesterday, when we were having dinner with our presenters and orienting them for the event today, we were explaining to them that usually we have representatives of NGOs who come and speak, and Mr. Grigoryan joked that the NGOs are now the government. Yeah? So meet NGO turned government member Armեն Գրիգորյան.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you for finding time to come, and it's a good opportunity to speak and to share ideas. First of all, I would like to thank USC and Salpi Ghazaryan for bringing all of us together and trying to speak, to share ideas, and trying to find common purposes. Before the introduction, it was spoken about the revolution in Armenia, and in reality, revolution was not just a short period process. It is a renaissance of Armenian state, and the renaissance that will last longer than those 2 months processes that was in 2018, April, May. And what's important that this renaissance process should bring together all of us, I mean Armenia, Artsakh, diaspora, and to find solution to those problems that we have. And actually, I represent the sector which is security, and what's important that we try to explain our vision of the security, sharing with you the way we are thinking, and I think that's a better process to engage in this way. It's more efficient to engage in this way the diaspora. Talking about the security, what we try to change and what is happening in Armenia. Right now, it's the time to try to expand the concept of the security. What do I mean when I say to try to expand the concept? Because usually when we think about the security in Armenia, it's very much related to army, to hard power. But in reality, security is not only the army. We should expand, and security challenges is not coming only from that perspective. There are other spheres of the life that impacts the security. And this expansion of the concept of security is in the process. For example, immigration is Armenia also a security challenge now. And if we cannot solve that security challenge, that will impact also our military security. So the issues sometimes are interrelated. And what is going on in Armenia in security sector and how the decisions are made in Armenia for the security. We need a little bit information. In 2015, there was a constitutional change and Security Council became a constitutional body. And according to Constitution, the Security Council is the body that forms the major defense policy directions. So in Armenia, we can say that right now the Security Council is the major body which defines the defensive policy. And in this regard, also Security Council became a platform where the major issues are discussed. For example, the last two Security Council meetings, one lasted 8 hours and the next one 9 hours. So this shows how this body became a major platform for us to discuss security issues. By the way, the members of Security Council the Security Council is headed by Prime Minister, and the members of Security Council are two Vice Prime Ministers, Secretary of Security Council, Defense and Foreign Ministry, Head of the Police and Head of the National Security, plus Chief of the Staff of the Army. And what's also important that when we discuss our security issues, it's not only happening in Armenia, because our major security challenges is coming from the Azerbaijan, and in the border we have Artsakh, where the major challenge is out there. And in March 12th, it was, I think, an historical momentum when national security meeting of Nagorno-Karabakh and Artsakh took place in Stepanakert. So this was a major political move, and we are trying to bring together our efforts to solve those security issues that we have in Armenia. And this is very important that those decisions that are made about the security are made collectively. Because when one person is responsible for all of those issues, it becomes a challenge for our country. What's also important when we are speaking about the security, it's also important to take into consideration the fact how we reform the security sector. Right now, how we see the increase of security measures in Armenia is the two-way. One is the reform in security sector, increasing the efficiency of security sector institutions, and at the same time investing in infrastructure of the security. One of the major moves was that Armenia is buying new Su-certified SM airplanes, which is very important part of, will become very important part of Armenian security, but it's also important to reform the sector, to increase the efficiency, to increase the transparency of security sector, and plus the integrity of security sector. That impacts very much the security environment. And what has changed after the revolution, it is the trust towards the government, and especially towards the security sector institutions. So this also helps us to increase the security of the country and help us to bring to the new level. And what's also important that in the center of our policy of the security is the human being. That's very important for us. It is the citizen for whom we are providing the security, and it's also the human being and the person and citizen who provides that security. They are the center of our policy. That's why now we are investing a lot in the infrastructure and the infrastructure development for those citizens who are providing security in our country. And it's also very important to have the high level of trust towards the government and towards the security sector institutions, because that's one of the major factors that can mobilize our society. We are sure that if there is a security challenge, then the call by the Prime Minister to unite the country, to defend our country, will be easier, we will have more opportunities, and we will be stronger to defend our country. What we also consider important, and we are working right now as the Office of the Security Council, it is the measurement of challenges and solving those challenges on the daily basis. The way we are thinking also defines how we are thinking about the security. When we're speaking about the security, it's usually also a changing mindset, because at some point when you succeed, when you have a new level of the security, your demands also are changing. That's why we are saying that security is never enough. You never have enough security, because at any level, your demands are expanding. You are thinking that you should have more security, and this is one of the challenges, and it's in some sense in the nature of the human and in the nature of the institutions which are providing the security for our citizens, but also it's very natural and it's very important how we are changing and expanding. And it's very important that during the time we are keeping the changing of the approaches and expanding those demands of the security. But I said that we are trying to expand the concept of the security, at the same time keeping in the mind that we cannot securitize everything. That's also very important. When you are securitizing everything, it becomes a huge challenge for the government and for the society. That's the way we are thinking. And this is very important for all of us to think and to try to define the mindset that we are thinking about the security. What also we are doing is forming research-based policy, and as this is Security Council office is in some sense new formed and the responsibilities are new, the way we are trying to work is to increasing the research capability and capacity of the institutions, because what we are right now in some sense lacking, that strong capacity, and which takes more longer time to invest in the policy and form the policy. So this is the major things that I try to speak about the security. It's very difficult in 12 minutes to cover all the topics. But again, I want to thank USC and all the staff working and bringing us together once more to think about our challenges and about our dreams and how we try to see our country, Armenia, which is very tightly connected to Artsakh and diaspora, how we will develop and how we will form our vision and how we will be helpful for each other. Thank you.